You are looking at the pinnacle of Minecraft building. Well, at least if you were 9 years old in 2014. But fortunately I was, and I actually really like this build. I mean, it may not be great by modern standards, but just like, take a look at that face. Tell me that face doesn't ooze personality. Today, I really want to bring this build to 2025, and to do that, we're going to use 4 modern techniques. First, we're going to make this a bit more of a dynamic shape. Then we're going to make it a bit more interesting by bringing some texture into it. Then we're going to bring even more interest in things to look at by bringing in some small micro details. And then I have one final modern technique, which I'm going to keep close to the chest for now, but I suspect is really going to spring this build forward a decade. So we got the build in situ, and so what I'm thinking, to reveal my thought process here, I've put it into a cherry grove, because there's a very whimsical biome. Oh, by the way, this is our reference guy. It's a very whimsical biome, and I feel like this is a very whimsical build, and it's giving me stuffed animal vibes. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going to make this look like a giant stuffed animal, and to start with, to get the shape that we need, I think we should start with the body. This is a bit scary, but if we just set air, oh dear, if we just make like a general outline of like how it will be sitting, I guess, right? That seems like a good shape, right? And then up the top as well, we make this neck a bit more neck-like. Well, now all we need to do is connect that to that. You know, it's looking a bit flat. Let's give him a bit more of a belly. It's the sort of a bit scary part, but I think if we just do sort of like, almost like the skeleton, I guess, of what this guy, oh, that's already too far in. You can have a bit more of a pot belly, I guess. Maybe you could even extend a little bit outwards. No, that looks awful. This is definitely a trust the process kind of build. But now all we need to do is just fill in this, and then we can add some fine tweakings to the body shape. Okay, that took a long time, but I'm generally happy with this body shape now. I think now we do the head, and then we can tackle the arms and legs. I think we can definitely tick dynamic shape off the list. I mean, look at what a difference that's already made. And we're only one step through this. So to get started with the texture, I think we just need to start with like some overall variation. And we're going to start with the orange. So what I've done here, I've grabbed every single one of our blocks, all of the orange blocks I could find, all of the white blocks, all of the red blocks, and all of the green blocks. We're starting with orange. I want to create sort of almost like a layered fluff texture. So we definitely want orange wool, and then I guess we just find the other, so I think orange concrete powder, and then maybe one other block that's quite similar. Resin? Would resin be too bright? I think resin might be too bright, to be honest. We need one more block. You know what? Pumpkin's not too bad, because it has sort of that almost striped thing, which does look like it could be fibers of fur. So I reckon that's what we do. We do orange wool, orange concrete powder, and pumpkins, and we do sort of like a layered thing. Let's give that a go. Okay, there's been some general texturing added to the orange, and I do think it's worked a lot. The one other thing I changed as well is I added some carpets. Originally, I did it just to cover up the top of the pumpkins. Then I realized it just sort of added a nice little bit of extra variation in the height. So I think that's cool, and I think it's looking good. And I think we need to do the white now. So like with that one, we definitely need to do white wool. And then, about pale oak? Yeah, I think pale oak, and then maybe one other. Snow, is snow too white? I don't think snow is too white. Pale oak, snow, and white wool. I think that's a good combination. All right, well, let's do what we did with the orange, but with the white. Okay, not having to deal with the concrete powder made that a lot easier, but that looks really good. I like that. The one other thing I changed was I added some calcite to the ears, to the bottom of the feet, and to the hands, just because it sort of looks a bit dirtier, and it makes sense to me that those bits of it would be a bit dirtier. So the one other thing to change is the eyes. And I don't think we need to do a whole time lapse for 2 blocks. But what can we make the eyes look like? So the trapdoor could be cool. What about we could do like trapdoor with emerald ore behind it even? Melon could look cool. All right, let's see. Let's see what we can do here. So let's just try the trapdoor. No, I don't like that. What about the trapdoor with the emeralds though? No, I don't like that either. I think that the trapdoor's a bad idea. What about the melons? He looks a little bit like he's on some sort of substance. What about the dark prismarine? Oh, I like the dark prismarine. Yeah, it gives it a bit more contrast. But I feel like we're losing a bit of that original essence. So what if we went back to sort of a bit close to the original color? And what about terracotta? Oh yeah, we've got a winner. Green terracotta, that is our winner. I think that's texturing done, so that means we can move on to the part that I'm most excited for. We need to start off with our detailing. This is meant to be Stampy, right? Good old Stampy Cat. And if you watched Stampy Cat back in the day, or if you didn't, if you need to know, he had his classic Stampy style boots. How does that look? Those look like boots? I think they kind of do. I feel like they're missing something though. You could add some trapdoors on the bottom. Oh, that's not good. Hang on. I've got an idea though. I've got an idea. There we go. Okay, and now we've got to... There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So we'll do the same on the other side. And there we go. He's got his little boots. I like that. I like that a lot. If we swap out this mouth with a bit of a brighter red... Then pop some banners in, and then he's got some little teeth. Oh, yeah, it's cute. I like that. I like that. Okay, the final little detail I'd love to give is in the original series, where this build is from, well, this build actually is from, the counterpart has a little party hat. So I'd love to give this a hat as well, but I want to give it a bit of a different hat. And the type of hat we're going to give it is going to play into the next step in this whole transformation process. Oh, there it is. What says whimsical quite like a propeller hat? So that's what we've given him, a little propeller hat here. And this propeller hat, well, the propeller does something that you might expect it to do. And can you guess? Can you guess? Well, we're going to try to achieve that in the final section of this transformation. So there's a few things that I want to animate, but we're going to start off with the propeller hat, because I think that's the most clear what we want to do. And I think we're going to have to do something with this block, the structure block. I know it's a block that nobody has ever heard of, but we're going to have to use it, and... Oh, that's a lot of buttons. Wait, I think I got it. Okay, so what we do is we take the structure block and we place them in each of the corners here, and we treat each of these like a frame of the propeller, right? We place the corners and we name it something like propeller A. We name the other corner the same thing. We go down here and we go to save mode and we save it as propeller A, and then we save it. And then we do the same for this one. Then we'll do the same for this one. So we place it in a corner. Oh, and this one will be, you guessed it, propeller C, because that one's propeller B. And then save. And then if we come over here and we wanted to load it, and we wanted to load propeller C, and then we hit load, and we hit load again. And look at that, I am a genius. Now we just need to figure out how to turn this into an animation somehow. Oh dear. My calculations are correct, and hopefully they are. Each of these should be loaded up with a frame of our propeller. And when we activate this, it'll go around and around and around, and hopefully give us the animation we're looking for. So let's see if this works. Come on. Nope. Wait, guys, I wasn't recording, but I think I got it to work. Literally all I did was place down an extra repeater. So it should be good, right? Are we spinning? We spinning. I mean, hang on, let me get rid of those boxes. There we go. Look at that! He's got a propeller hat. Okay, we can tweak the timings a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit more relaxed of a propeller hat now. And does the animation look good enough? I think that doesn't look too bad. And there's another thing that I want to animate. I want to see if I can make him blink. And I know that I said these need to be a stuffed animal, and stuffed animals don't really blink, but this one's going to. And it's not going to be creepy at all. So what I sort of worked out the best way to do it is to place a structure block in the corner down there, and then another one up in the corner up here. And then we just name this eyes open. Okay, and then once we have both of those in, we get another one and also name it eyes open. But this one we set to save, we hit detect, and then there we go. Look, it's detected essentially the eyes. Well, not essentially eyes, it has detected the eyes. And actually, I think if we just, there we go, that just gives us a bit more breadth to work with. So this will be our eyes open, and we want to save that as eyes open. Now all we should have to do is make essentially the frame that is eyes closed. And how does that look? I think that's all right. And then we quite simply rename these to eyes closed, and then save eyes closed. And then we just need to go down and make the actual circuit that will make it happen, I guess. It's alive! I've done it. So it's basically the same circuit as last time, just a nice little redstone clock. But I just have it set so that it defaults back to the open stage for a while, and then it goes through again. So that way, you get this nice little blink. And I can't tell if it's creepy or if it's endearing, or a bit of both. I think it might be a bit of both. But hey, a little bit of animation, and that's really brought this thing to life, hasn't it? So there's really just a few finishing touches left before this thing is perfect for 2025. Everybody at home, I want you to say goodbye to the past and welcome to the future. Look at that. You know we couldn't do modern Minecraft without putting some shaders in and giving it a little bit of blush as well, just to add a bit of extra cuteness. So if you've ever taken a screenshot in Minecraft, you know you got to go FOV all the way up, get that perfect angle. Where is it? There. Oh, there it is. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have officially brought this build into the modern era. That was so much fun. If you want to see me do any other old builds and bring them to 2025 as well, leave your ideas in the comments below. Huge thank you to my backers on YouTube, my YouTube members. And if you did enjoy, do be sure to subscribe. I will see you all in the next one.